Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. My name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter family. And this is the channel where I'm giving you the secrets of a real estate investing strategy that completely changed my life. In a year, really, it was less than a year. It was like 8 months when I got my first one. I'm going to give you those secrets that changed my life. It allowed me to become the bank in real estate investing, and I'm able to buy investment properties without any large sums of money out of my own pocket, and I don't have to go to a bank and borrow any money, fill out any credit applications, show W-2s. I don't go to a hard money lender, borrow money. There's no borrowing money, guys. So I'm going to give you that game on this channel. So tonight, I'm actually answering a question from one of the comments. Okay, so guys, you can leave your comments in the comments section, and if you have questions, leave them in there, and I might do a show on that question. So I'm doing that tonight. So the question was, where do we find a buyer to buy these properties that we took over the debt on? Right? Because guys, man, I'll say this: when I first started learning the strategy, that thought was on my mind, right? That thought was on my mind. Is like, okay, if I can take over the debt on a property, once I do that, how do I then pay that mortgage payment? Because I can't afford it, right? I mean, I've promised these people that I was going to pay it, but I most certainly can't afford to pay that out of my own pocket. So that was kind of a worry of mine, and I'm not, I mean, I'm 100% real and honest with you guys on this channel. Like, I was worried about that because I hadn't learned that yet when I first found this strategy. But the good thing for me, and I thank God for this, was that my mentor, where I discovered this strategy, he was doing it and he was successful at it. And so that led me to believe, and I believe that in my heart and my soul, that okay, since he's doing this, there's a way to do it, right? And it can be done. So all I have to do is work hard, follow this strategy, learn from him, invest in myself, and I'll be able to do it. So, and here I am, guys, and I own 6 houses, right? I own 6 houses, and I've done 7 transactions, and I got my first house in April of this year. So that was what, 8 months ago, coming up on, or I'm sorry, April of last year, 2021. It's a new year, guys. Hey, happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, guys. And I keep saying, this year, whatever, because it blends together for me because I'm always trying to knock down goals and become better, right? And that's what the Go Getter family is about. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, okay? But I want to tell you guys a quick story, right? I want to tell you guys a quick story because when I first found this strategy and found out that I could buy a investment property by taking over that debt, and it didn't cost me anything out of my own pocket. I didn't need a realtor. I didn't have to go get inspections. All of that traditional stuff. I didn't have to show my W-2s and go to a bank and fill out a credit application and put on my Sunday's best and with my hat in my hand, asking them to finance my dream. When I first found it, there was thoughts in my mind like, no, you can't do this. I don't think that you can do this because everything that I know about real estate and everything that I have learned up to this point tells me that you have to go to a bank and borrow the money and pay everything that's owed before you can get it, or you got to get the cash. So everything that was, that I've been told thus far that's what it tells me to do. So, but I didn't let that limiting belief hold me back. So, and I couldn't let it hold me back because I was in a place in life, where I was working at a landscaping company and I was doing snow removal. So during the winter time, we would get paid, on a hit and miss situation, but we got paid pretty well. But the thing about it was when it snowed, we had to wait for it to snow a little while and then go out after it snowed for a bit. So guys, I was getting woken up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. 3, 4 in the morning, then I'd be out for 14, 15, 16 hours straight working in the snow. And I know that some of you guys know how this feels, maybe not working in the snow per se, but working at a job where you've got to work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, or you got to work mandatory overtime. or working on the weekends, and the job, just like my job, didn't care, if I had a birthday to go to, right? Or if it was my daughter's, recital or basketball game or my son's basketball game, didn't care. They only cared when I didn't show up, and they wanted to, fire me or whatever, right? And I was in the situation where I had to do that because I had responsibilities and I had bills. And I found this strategy, right? I found this strategy, and I'm like, man, I've never heard of this, but my friend, my business partner slash friend, best friend, brother, he's a doctor. He said to me one day, why can't I just take over the mortgage payment on somebody's house? Because we were trying to find foreclosures to do fix and flips on. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. Well, it came to my mind again, and it just made so much sense, right? Like, okay, these people have qualified for this debt, but they can't pay it anymore. So why can't I just come in and take it over? Because you know what, guys, I'm going to tell you this. It's kind of like this, and the banks already do this to us. The banks already do this for you people that are watching that have a mortgage. Have you ever lived in that house for a few years and then called like customer support for that mortgage where you got that loan at, and they no longer have your loan? They don't have your loan anymore. They'll say, no, we don't have that loan anymore. Such and such bought it. So and so bank bought it. So when you get a mortgage and you pull out that debt, right, and you've just leased your future pretty much to these banks, because we're their acquisition, are going into debt to them. They turn around and they sell it on the secondary market. They sell your debt. So that's what we're doing. That's why this is 7 steps to becoming the bank, because we are buying debt. And then we're not using our own money to buy it. We are becoming the bank, And that is the most powerful thing that you can do. And it will change your entire life. It will make your real estate investing journey so much more easy, less stressful, but you have to learn this. So I was in a situation where I'm working, right? And I've got all of these bills though. And I've just had my daughter, so I've got new responsibilities. So I found my mentor. And I only got lucky, guys. I'm going to tell you that I just got lucky in certain instances where it could have been terrible, catastrophic. So I found my mentor, and he had a group coaching for, it was $7,000 for his group coaching. And the thing about, I was like, $7,000, and I was in a poor person mindset, right? So I'm like, 7,000, I can't afford that. I don't have $7,000. But the whole time, guys, check this out. I had $15,000 in credit on my credit cards that I could have used. And I didn't even think about it though, because I was in a poor person mindset. So I'm like, man, I can't pay for this. I can't afford this because I only have, $1,500 in my bank account, and I've got to pay my mortgage coming up, and I got to pay my car payment. But that's the difference between a rich person and a poor person, because the rich and the wealthy, when they find something that they know is valuable to them, that they will have to pay a little bit of money for, but it will free up their time, free up all of their time. What they do is they're like, well, what do I need to do to get that thing, to make it work for me, so that I can free my time up? So this thing is working for me. I'm not working for it. See, that's the difference, right? This thing's working for me. I'm not working for it. So that's what a rich person does. And a rich person would have thought immediately, well, I've got this $15,000 in credit on these credit cards that I can use to pay this $7,000 to learn this. And the thing is now, right? When you put something on a credit card, you have to pay the monthly minimum payment on that. You pay the monthly minimum payment. So when you buy something for 5,000, 4,000, you buy that, pay that person for that valuable knowledge, information, but then you just make a monthly minimum payments. So I could have afforded $200 a month, $300 a month to turn around and make me what I'm into today, because I went from having that little bitty $1,500 in my bank account to now being worth, from my first house that I got in April to today, my net worth is $780,000. 780,000. I own 6 houses, done 7 transactions. I own 3 businesses. So, me thinking that way, it made this path much, much harder for me. And I had to get lucky in order to be sitting in front of you right now. Right. I had to get lucky in order to be sitting in front of you right now. And I'll tell you how. When I got my first deal, right, I closed on this house in April, and I took over the debt on it. I bought it. It's called subject to. I bought it subject to the existing financing. So I took over the mortgage, and I got the deed transferred into my name at the title company. But that debt, the mortgage, it stayed in the seller's name. Now I paid them out $15,000. All right. And this is, we're going to talk about how you find your buyers. This is how one of the ways that I did it, but I'm going to give you guys multiple ways. And hey guys, if you're new to this channel, one, I answer questions when you're on the live show, when you watch, I'll answer those near the end of the show. On the second half of the show, I'll answer live questions. But guys, don't forget to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe, right? Because I'm trying to get in that algorithm so that other people can get this knowledge, get this game. Sorry guys, I got to put my other phone on silent. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm going nuts. Sorry about that. So anyway, what the heck? I thought I just put that on silent. So anyway, oh, there it is. I closed on this property and I was scared to death. I closed on the property and I'm like, oh my God, I was so excited because just like my mentor Chris had said, I got this house for nothing. But you have to insure these properties in a particular way, right? Because if you don't, it can be catastrophic. It can be horrible for you. And so for 3 weeks, I didn't have insurance on this place because I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't have anybody that I could ask directly, how to do this. What insurance do I need? And then when I go to the insurance agent, how do I speak to the insurance agent? Because when I went to one of them in my hometown and I told them what I was doing, taking over this mortgage, got the deed transferred into my name, this and that. And they're like, well, I don't know. I don't know how to insure that. Well, I've never heard of that. I didn't know you could do that and this and that. And the insurance agent, I guess she used to be a mortgage originator. And that's the thing with this strategy. It has been hidden away by the wealthy and the elite. They buried it because they want to be the ones to use it. And then they brought to the surface the traditional way of doing real estate. That's what's at the surface, how using your showing your W-2s, holding the same job for 2 years, man, debt to income ratios, all of that stuff. But this stuff down here, taking over debt, not filling out credit applications, they bury it. So I didn't have insurance, right? The insurance agent, now she won't even deal with me because she thinks I'm on some funny stuff. And there ain't nothing funny about this. It's all above board, legitimate. Even on the HUD-1 form, the settlement statement, when you sign at closing on a house, everybody signs a settlement statement. Everyone that buys a house. On line 203 of that settlement statement, it says subject to the existing financing. Right there. So it's there. It's there. And then all that line is for is if there is existing financing, you put the amount. And that's why it's there. So it can be used, but it is obscured. They have buried it. So anyway, so now I own this house. I own it. And then I put my buyers in there, right? Because they're the ones who paid for it essentially with their down payment. And I think I talked to you about how that works. But if something happens to this house, or if something happens to them, my buyers in this house, it can ruin me. It can ruin me. So my mentor, he does kind of what I do on his YouTube. He answers questions live, right? He'll answer questions live, but you have to pay, like, I think it's $9.99 a month. You pay $9.99 a month, and when he does live shows, when you ask a question, it'll go to the top of the line, and then he'll answer yours first. So for 3 weeks, I'm tracking him down. I'm on every YouTube and I'm saying, man, I got this. I got my first subject too. I got my first house, but I don't know how to insure it. What do I do? What insurance do I need? And, sometimes he'd get to me, sometimes he wouldn't. And then when he would get to me, he'd kind of ramble on sometimes, like I do sometimes, and not answer the question specifically. And then finally, man, after I'm sending him messages, emails, all types of stuff because he wasn't my mentor yet. Then finally, he says it. He says what I needed to do, how I needed to ensure that. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't sleep at night. I was so worried because this was my first one. So I knew that I could do it. I knew that I could take over this debt and buy this house and own it and have the deed in my name. But I still didn't cross my T's and dot my I's, right? And that has to be done, guys. We have to do that to be successful. So man, once I found out, I finally did it, and it wasn't a catastrophe, right? And the good thing about that is too, when I did that, I actually established a new relationship with my now insurance agent and broker to where we can insure properties in all 50 states. So GoGetter family members, I've already done this for Janelle Eagle Robles. We insured her property in California, all the way from little old Iowa. Because she's a member, right? And we got her a house under contract that's using the same strategy. So that was the good thing that came out of it, but it could have been bad, it could have been bad. So I just wanted to talk about that because I had that limiting belief of like, man, you can't do this. And then I wasn't going to pay a person to learn it, and it almost was the death of me. It almost was the death of me, guys. And guys, put your questions in there in the comment section, and I will answer them for you. Happy New Year to everybody too, man. I see some people asking me some questions already. Candace, what's up, Candace? Happy New Year, y'all. So finding your buyers to pay for your investment property, because this is how we get a free house, right? And this is just the gist of it. I have a master class on here for you guys on YouTube for you, so you can get the hang of this a little bit. But this is the gist of how you get a house for free. We buy a house, a distressed property, and we take over the debt on that house, right? So when we take over the debt on that house, they may have had equity. They may have lived in that house for 15 years or so, right? If they lived in that house for 15 years, that means they paid down their mortgage. So they probably have, let's just say the house is worth 100,000, but then they have $50,000 worth of debt left on that mortgage, right? But the house is worth 100,000. So if you sell it, you could pay off that 50 and then you put 50 in your pocket, right? But we don't want them to do that. We just want to take over that debt. So since there's $50,000 in equity there, we may, because they're in a rush, they don't want to do the repairs, right? They don't want to pay the realtor fees and go through that hassle. So that's why they go this way with us. And we use our magic words and our negotiating techniques. Step 3 of the 7 steps to becoming the bank, value-based negotiating, how to negotiate in a way that's authentic and it gets results, right? So we agree with the sellers. Hey, we'll pay you out $10,000. We'll pay you $10,000 in cash, and then we will take over that remaining $50,000, and we'll just continue to make those payments on there until it's paid off. We'll make each payment, or until we fix it up and we sell it, to a cash buyer. That cash buyer ends up paying that whole chunk. And they say, yeah, I'll do that. Matter of fact, $10,000 is what we need to do whatever it is, whatever problem needed to be solved, right? But I don't have 10,000, right? I'm sure most of you may not have 10,000, and we're buying a free house here. And this is why I say buying a free house. Yes, that's an oxymoron. Yes, it does. It's like jumbo shrimp, right? It doesn't make sense. So what? This is what we're doing. We own it and we didn't pay anything for it. We pretty much got paid to buy it. So this is how you do that, though. We agreed to pay them 10,000. Well, when we make that agreement with them, we say, okay, we'll pay you 10,000. We're going to close 30 days from today. We close 30 days from today. So that'll give us time to do our due diligence. We can do our inspections ourselves and see, if there's termites. I always recommend getting a termite inspection. We'll see if there's any termites or anything that would kill the deal, or say to you, okay, hey, this is going to cost 2,000 or 3,000 to fix. Do you want to pay for this, or can we take it out of that 10,000 to keep this deal alive? So, but that 30 days, what it also does is it gives you time to market that property. Now you can advertise that property as for sale by owner, right? No credit checks, down payment required. And we put rent to own on that. I'm sorry, for sale by owner. It's a rent to own, no credit checks, down payment required. So when we do find our seller, and I'm going to give you guys the tips on this. When we do find our seller, though, our buyer, when we do find our buyer, that down payment, we make sure our down payment is at least the 10,000 that we have to pay our seller. But when it's 10,000, I'm shooting for a $20,000 down payment. So that way I can, out of that 20,000, I can take 10 and I pay the seller. And then I put the other 10,000 in my pocket. And now my new buyer on the rent to own, this is how you pay for that property too, that you took over the debt on, right? This is how you continue to pay that mortgage payment. I'm giving you guys the game, man. And they don't tell us that. You check out other channels that talk about creative financing and subject to. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to tell you this stuff. They're just not, man. They're trying to get you in and then sell it to you. So I'm going to tell you, the person that is renting it, buying it from us on rent to own, their monthly payments pay that mortgage payment that we took over. Right there, boom. And then we got that extra $10,000 from their down payment to put in our pocket. Now, you ask me, who in the world would do that, right? Why wouldn't they just go get a traditional mortgage, right? This is what a lot of people say. Why wouldn't they just get a traditional mortgage? And the reason why is because, guys, I don't know if you know this, but 75% of the country has less than perfect credit. So it's hard to get a mortgage, guys. It's hard. I mean, if that's the case, like people say, well, why wouldn't they just get a mortgage? Well, why don't you just go borrow money from the bank and buy an investment property? I mean, think about it, right? Think about it. So 75% of the country has less than perfect credit. So, and that's, with an FHA mortgage, but a conventional mortgage, trying to get a conventional, that is extremely difficult. So our pool of buyers is huge. I mean, it is huge because I get buyers all the time that say, hey, yeah, we want to buy a house, but my credit just isn't that good. I broke my leg last year. And got fired, or had got laid off from my job because I broke my leg and I couldn't make my car payments. My car got repoed, and now my credit's ruined. So I have this $15,000 saved up. Once my leg healed, I started working again and all that stuff. But they repoed my car, so that just demolished my credit. So I have this $15,000 cash to put down, but I still can't get a house with my credit being like that, even with that 15K to put down. So that's where we tell them, hey, at our bank, because I'll be your bank, we don't do credit checks, Mr. Buyer. We don't do credit checks. So as long as you have a down payment, and then, I like my buyers to have a job, and at least have been there for a little while, we'll sell you this house and this house will be yours. This is your home. I'm not your landlord, right? I'm just your bank. I'm just your bank. So you can paint, you can put new carpet in, you can do upgrades, all of that stuff, but you're responsible for maintenance and repairs. Boom, right there. That, man, our pool of buyers, our market for buyers is huge. So this is how you find a buyer. You market it. You can use bandit signs. Okay. You can use bandit signs, and on those bandit signs, you got to put specific, because bandit signs are small. So you can't have, the number of rooms, the address, a beautiful view, a cozy nook in the kitchen, how the realtors put all that stuff. You can't have all that stuff. So it's got to have the right language on there. So on your bandit signs now, you just put house for sale, rent to own, no credit check, down payment required. Boom. And then put your phone number and have a different phone if you can. If you can afford to have a different phone, because your phone's going to be blowing up, especially if you live in a metropolitan, your phone's going to be blowing up, right? So that right there, you put that in a couple busy areas. And then I'll give you another tip. If your city picks up your bandit signs and just throws them away, in order not to waste your money, you put the bandit sign up in a busy location Friday at 4 p.m. Friday at 4 p.m. because civil servants in the city, they're not working over the weekend. And those busy intersections, they're more busy over the weekend. Boom, there's your traffic. And then if you don't want to lose any money, you can go pick those up Sunday night. You can go pick them up Sunday night. That way you're not losing any money. And people have driven by that, and they see it. And some people will call their friends. I've had people call me like, hey, I saw your sign and my mother-in-law wants to buy a house on contract. So that's why I'm calling you. Is this your house? You'll get people, man. I'm telling you, your phone will blow up, Then another thing is this. This is what I do. If I have a house because I don't do fix and flips. We do wholesale and holds. That's what it's called. It's the GoGetter family's method. Wholesale and hold. All right. And it's a new method because we are wholesaling this property and then we're holding on to it because we're making monthly passive income. And we haven't paid anything for this property. Guys, I just put up a post on my IG and on my TikTok that I went from $0, man, being my net worth being zero to $780,000 this year, 2021. So guys, 2022, it's going to be huge for the GoGetter family, and it can be huge for you too. But you have to be, willing to put in that hard work and invest in yourself and not have that poor person mindset of, oh man, I can't afford that. No, it's how can I pay for it? How can I pay for it, man? I'll put it on a credit card and I'll pay the monthly payments because I know that this is going to work for me and I'll be able to make that money to make those monthly payments or pay it off, pay the credit card off. But another thing, and this is huge, guys, I love having relationships with contractors. And there's a lot of different types of contractors. I mean, there's HVAC guys that own their own HVAC business. And, it's a small mom and pop shop, right? Then there's painters, there's floor guys. There's just handymen, all types. I mean, even landscapers, snow removal, right? Well, their income, it's not consistent. Their income's not consistent. It's like hit or miss, right? But when it is on, they make a ton of it. They make a lot of money when it's on. So they have a lot of money, but they can't go to a bank and get traditional financing, right? They can't get traditional financing because they can't show a consistent income. So going to banks, man, they won't help these contractors out. So the contractors love me because I tell them this, I'll be your bank and I will sell you a house. And this is what we do. See, we bring value. We're helping people, right? And when we go into it with that mindset of helping people, guys, you can't lose. So I'll be your bank and I will sell you a house that you can do the work on, add value to, and I'll sell it to you. And all you got to give me to buy it is a down payment. Just give me a down payment and then you give me monthly payments and the house is yours. And I'm not going to check your credit, Mr. Floor Guy, Mr. Painter, Mr. HVAC person that started a business. I respect you because you started a business, man. It takes a lot of work, a lot of hustle. That's I respect it. So I'm going to help you out here because I can, because that is the power that we have when we become the bank. When we take over this debt, and now we turn into the bank and we resell that debt. We resell it. It's as simple as that. Don't complicate it in your head, guys. Don't complicate it. That's what happens too. We overcomplicate things, right? We overcomplicate things and then you're just like, oh, I can't do this, or it's a mess, and this, that. And I'll say this, guys, you know, we will have something that we know can help us is gonna be great, but um we won't do it. We won't do it because we have that scared mindset, or what if we fail? What if we don't accomplish it? This, that. Well, I'll tell you this. As long as you have given 100% of your effort, you gave all you had, man. You gave everything that you could. Um, you'll be fulfilled. You'll be fulfilled because you gave everything that you could, and you know this in your heart and your soul. But you have to know that you gave everything you can. And I know, see, that's the difference, man. Like, I know when I give everything that I have, I'm going to win, even if I don't get the results that I set out to get. If I give everything that I have, I'm going to win. I'm going to tell you a story right now, guys, right now. And this is why I don't even do one-on-one mentorships anymore. I have group coaching, and I'm going to tell you why, guys, because this is crazy, man. Um, so I started, I just got my first house in April by taking over the debt and learning this strategy, right? This crazy strategy of becoming the bank. I thought it was crazy, but I knew it was going to change my life. So I jumped in. I jumped right in and took action. And so and I'm not a millionaire, guys. I'm not. I'm not. I'm on my way. I just told you guys my net worth, 780,000. And for those people that are just popping in, my name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter family, right? And the GoGetter family is a real estate investing family, a group, man, of go-getters, of people who got that in them, right? That are going to do what it takes to be successful. But now we have a family, man, a group of people that we can talk to, bounce ideas off of, right? That can hold us accountable, give us constructive criticism. That's what the go-getter family is, man. And you have to have certain qualities. We don't just take anybody, especially at our round table. But anyway, my name is Gene Boykin. So thanks for joining us tonight. We're talking about how you can find a buyer for your investment property so that property's free, right? So you don't have to pay for it, but you still own it. So anyway, I tell my mentor, and my mentor, one of them, both of them, man, are heavyweights, both of them. And the crazy part is one of my mentors, 27, younger than me, right? The other one's a few years older. But a person doesn't have to be older than you to be your mentor. No, they just have to be able to sharpen you up. You got to set your ego to the side. You have to set your ego to the side because that's what will help you be successful in this journey, in this strategy. So anyway, I tell my mentor, my real estate investing mentor, I tell him, I'm going to be in your inner circle and I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there from my actions. I'm not going to get there because I'm emailing you a bunch of questions and texting you and calling you and hitting you on Messenger, asking you how to do this and how to do that. Well, what if this happens? And no, I'm going to show you with my actions. And guess what? He is now my mentor. I've been on his YouTube a couple of times. He's been on mine, once. So I made it by my actions. Well, my other mentor, he had something that I knew was going to help me grow. help me grow, help me be better, and help me. It's really helped me in front of you today. Help me put those 7 steps to becoming the bank together, so that I could give it to you guys in a way that is, understandable, and that you can follow this process. Well, we've got to bring value when we ask somebody to help us. We can't just expect a person to help us and use their time and energy and effort and the knowledge that they took. They made sacrifices and commitment to gain, and we go to them and we say, "Hey, I want to learn how to do this. Once you teach me and I get a deal, I'll JV with you on that deal." What? Why would you, what? So you want me to roll the dice on you that you're going to do what it takes, put in the hard work, and then you're going to go out and take action, and you're going to close a deal. And when you do that, you're going to split it with me. Well, what about the time that I invest in you? Right. And what about the time that I invested in myself to learn this? So we can't be takers, guys. We got to bring value out the gate. So I knew that what this person had could help me, man, could help me grow exponentially, but it was expensive. It was expensive, but by this time, I was already a real estate investor and I had closed a couple of deals the creative financing way. So I had made a $20,000 check already. I had made a $12,185 check already. So I did that rather quickly. Um so I had some money a little bit, right? And I was happy about that because I didn't have any like a lot of money before. I was working at a landscaping and snow removal company. So so I closed these deals, and it just so happened that these people had got in touch with me, and I'm talking to them, and what they had was valuable, right? So they tell me how much it is, and it is a good price, man. It is a lot, bro. It's like 4 digits. It's not low 3 grand to 4 grand, 5 grand, 6 grand. So no, it's above 10, well above 10,000 that I had to pay. But at this time, I didn't have that poor person mindset, right? I had that wealthy person mindset. So I tell myself, man, I was like, you know what? I'm betting on myself because I know that this will help me. I know it will because what they did, it worked on me. And I look at myself as pretty good at this stuff, negotiating, all of that stuff. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm great at this, but I studied hard, worked hard, and learned from the greats, man. So anyway, it costs a lot of money. So I tell my fiance, hey, this company, they can help me. The CEO is a young brother, that is a genius, like he's a prodigy. But it costs, this is how much it costs. And it was a lot, guys. And she's like, what? She's like, you just made this money. Why would you spend it, turn around and then spend it all on this thing? And you don't even know if this is going to work, because this isn't like a product that you can buy and then sell. But that's not where the new money is anyway. The new currency is knowledge. And I'm going to tell you where getting the knowledge that I got from my first mentor that taught me this strategy, and then the knowledge from this mentor has got me, guys. And it got me somewhere that is pretty much unbelievable. Like when I feel like I'm going to tell people what just happened to me the other day and where I'm heading, and like January 3rd, it starts. Um, it's like it's a whopper. Like I'm just telling you a whopper. I'm just saying anything to you because I think you'll believe anything. That's how crazy what has just happened to me is. And it is from the knowledge that I have gained that I'm trying to give you. And then also it is from my willingness to pay for a person to help me to get it. I mean, I'm just being honest, man, because that's what I did. This is what I did. So I tell her, and she's like, "What? You're gonna pay all this money?" So then, I'm like, "Yes, I'm doing this," because I had to earn the money. But I mean, we're a family, so she has as much right to it as me. We got kids and everything. But I'm like, you know what? Even if it doesn't work, I can buy these houses anyway, and I believe in myself. Don't you believe in me? And of course, she said that she did, but she was still worried. Then I even had to go borrow some money from some friends because it was a lot of money, but. There was some people that didn't loan me the money. There were some people, man. I asked this one dude to borrow me the money, and I thought he was like being cool with me, owned a business, floor cleaning business that made a lot of money. And I asked him to borrow some money and give him a cut of it, and I didn't hear from him since, man. He hasn't answered. He wasn't answering my phone calls, texts, nothing. We was going golfing and everything, but that showed me that he was fake. You know what I'm saying? He saw some potential there with me, so he wanted to get next to me. You know what I mean, and benefit from it. But when I needed him to bet on me and to that potential that he saw that he could get for free out of me without bringing any value, when I needed him, he was gone, man. I haven't heard from him. You know what I mean? But I see him on my stories, watching my story, because you can see who watches your stories. Yeah, he's been watching my stories and all that now because I'm blowing up. Now I guess I'm somebody now, right? But he wasn't there when I needed him, man. But the people that were there, they were there, man. These are my ride or die homies, man. And they believed in me, man. They believed in an idea, right? And they believed in they just believed in me, man. Because when a person invests, they don't invest in your business idea. I'll tell you this right now, and I just learned this from experience. I had heard people saying this. They invest in the person. They invest in the person. And me right now, I'll invest in a person and in a business, but I won't invest in a person unless they have failed at least once. Yeah, I like it when they failed twice, because if they have failed twice and now they're coming to me with another great business idea and venture and they're out here taking action, that tells me that this person can get through adversity. This person can make it through adversity. So I want to deal with this person, because if a person has never failed and they're, successful in business and this and that, well, adversity is bound to come. It is bound to come. You cannot make it around that. So what are they going to do when adversity hits? Well, I don't know. That's the toss of a coin. I don't know, because they've never hit adversity. So that makes me kind of weary, and these people know that invested in me, that I have hit adversity. I mean, bad, man. That's why the Go-Getter family is a name that was like bestowed upon me, and it was still available. So they loaned me this money. I pay, boom. Now I'm in the system, man, and I'm learning this stuff, and then I'm implementing it in my business, and things are starting to change, right? And things are changing, and I'm seeing the benefits of it, and I'm seeing how valuable it is. But I had spent all of my money that I had, and I got to put my time in this. So I'm still investing, right? Buying these houses, but I'm not investing as much because I'm building the Go-Getter family and the 7 steps to becoming the bank. I'm giving it to you guys raw right now because that's what it was for, right? So, and I'm seeing it grow because you guys are here right now watching, man. Man, and I love y'all, and I respect y'all, and I appreciate you. I do. And this is why I pour into you and give you this game, man, because I want y'all to succeed and to have the freedom that I now have, man. The freedom, right? And this opportunity that I got from this knowledge, man. So anyway, boom. So I'm just doing this, and then I'm having a seminar, right? And it's 90-day plan to get all this stuff together for my seminar. So during this 90 days, I'm working real hard. I'm feeling nervous, right? But I'm feeling confident. But as time goes on, I'm feeling nervous because I didn't have that many people signed up to come to my seminar. So, and I live in Sioux City, Iowa. I'm in Sioux City, Iowa. Most of you guys watching probably are like, man, where the hell? What even is that? Is that a place? Right? Like, what the, I mean, whatever, but I'm here, a go-getter out of this thing. So it's not where you're from, it's where you at in life. So it's hard to get here though. So people are like, man, I'm not coming to Sioux City. I think there's somebody on here watching now that I, talk to about coming. And they're like, man, I'm in New York, man. Well, I'll get to Sioux City. So I'm sweating, right? I'm nervous, and I'm like, what if this doesn't work? And I'm like, no, I can't think like that. I gotta be positive, and so man, I broke my back literally to make sure that seminar had enough people there, and there was 24 people there, and it went great. I even took people on a tour in a tour bus to my investment properties so that they could see them that I bought by becoming the bank. I took them. There's some videos up. I'll release some more videos so you guys can see that. But I took everybody to my properties that I bought for free. Even one of my buyers was even there. You know what I mean? That bought one of my properties. He wrote me a $30,000 check. He's buying it rent to own. So anyway, I had the seminar, but I didn't make the money on the seminar that I was supposed to, that I told my fiance that we were going to make by me dumping all my money into this, that I borrowed money from my friends to help me to do this. And then I was supposed to pay them back with, interest. They want to make some money. I don't expect them to just borrow me money for free and not get nothing. We're not takers, man. You can't be a taker. So I didn't make the money, but I got the experience. I got the knowledge. I got the systems, and it worked. I know that. It was just that I'm in Sioux City, man. It was hard to get here. You had to catch a flight and then drive 2 hours away just to get here. Nobody wants to do that. And I didn't take that into consideration initially, right? Because I was just like, man, I want to do this. So that happened. And now I'm broke, right? I'm broke, man. I owed people money. I'm like, and this was just, a couple months back, a good couple months ago. It wasn't that long ago. I had my seminar in November 4th through the 6th. So I'm giving it to y'all real. So anyway, so then I'm scrambling now, and I bought this investment property, but there were squatters in it. So I had to like get them out of there and not make the money that I thought I was going to make, because it took me a little while to get them out of there. Then they tore it up, cost me $2,300 just to remove all their junk from there. The house is worth $190,000. I didn't pay anything for it. So anyway, all this happens, right? Well, my TikTok blows up, man. It just blows up. I'm going viral. I got, almost 100,000 followers on TikTok. Because I'm giving knowledge. I'm giving this game that changed my life, and people want to learn this, man. But do people want to invest in themselves? That's the question. You've got to want to invest in yourself, and you got to want it. Because, man, I get a lot of people that, trying to get a hold of me and use my time, but they don't, like, man, So anyway, so I talked to the person that I paid all that money to. I talked to him, and I'm like, hey man, I'm blowing up on TikTok, this, that, but I need your help. I need your infrastructure, man. So he says to me, and I told him too, when I first paid him, and he had a what is it called? His circle of honor. I told him, I said, hey, by the end of this, I'm going to be in that circle of honor. I'm going to be there. And I'm going to do it from my actions. I told him that, guys. So just this past week, I'm talking to him again. We hadn't talked in a little while because his services were up. The time was up, and he helped me. I didn't make the money I was supposed to, but I had the knowledge, I had the systems, I had all of that information, and to me, it was valuable. So I had called my friend, and he asked me. He was like, "Well, hey, Gene, do you feel like that guy helped you? That company helped you?" I was like, "You know what? I didn't make the money I was supposed to, but yes, the knowledge, absolutely, 110%. It helped me to get to the success point that I'm at now." He's like, "Well, call him and ask him to, use his infrastructure. And then, you can help him." I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. I didn't even think of that. So we're talking, and finally he says, "You know what, Gene?" He said, "I haven't told anybody about this yet, but I want you to be a part of this. I want you to be a part of this mastermind group that I'm starting. That is only 5 people. There's only 5 people in this mastermind group. And 2 of those people in this mastermind group, they are husband and wife. I don't want to say any names yet because it's not made public yet. They are husband and wife. They invest in multifamily stuff. They are worth $750 million. $750 million. Now, mind you guys, I'm sitting here in my Nike sweatshirt, man. I'm in Iowa. I'm a guy from Iowa that was a landscaper last year, snow removal last year. And now I'm being invited, because this is an invite-only mastermind group too, to sit next to, in the same room as people worth $750 million. And then not only sit next to them and be in the same room as them, but I'm on the board of directors with them. Pretty much, I'm the mastermind with them. So when they speak and they give their knowledge and their systems and what they did to make them successful, well, guess what? Then it's my turn to speak, and I talk about creative financing, right? About subject 2, about the method that I came up with, the wholesale and hold method. And when I speak, people listen too, just like they listen to these people worth $750 million. And then there's another person in that group, the other guy in that group, right? Because there's only 5 of us. This guy owns 281 properties. 281. I don't own 200. I own 6. I own 6, but I got all 6 of those free. I didn't pay any money. I didn't borrow any money, anything. So he owns 281. He has a real estate portfolio worth $20 million. 20 million. Guys, this is insane. And then the other guy, man, I didn't have time to look him up as much, but he's a heavy hitter too. And then there's me. So when I'm having this conversation with my mentor that I paid to be my mentor, I paid him, but then I earned this relationship with him because of who I am and the hard work that I put in. I told him too, when he gave me that invite, and I said, you know what? I said, I don't know if you remember this, but I told you that we would be having this conversation. I told you. And I mean, when I said that, man, I got goosebumps, chills, everything, man, because he was like, you know what, Gene? I do remember that. I do. And nobody works as hard as you. Nobody works as hard as you, and nobody is going to make sure that no matter what, through whatever adversity, that they are successful. And that's what you did, Gene. And that's why I want you to be a part of this group. because I'm not a millionaire, guys. These people were 750. This guy's worth 20. The other guys were like 20, 30, 40 million, something like that. They might call it the billionaire real estate club. Like, what? I'm not close yet, but I'm on my way. And I got there though. This is why I got there, because I was willing to bet on myself. I was willing to pay him a ton of money, everything that I had, as a matter of fact, to teach me what I knew was going to change my life. It was going to change my life, and I knew it. I knew it in my heart and my soul. But I broke my back. I broke my back working hard, man. I mean, it wasn't easy. I didn't just pay him and then he just handed me a system and then I plugged that system in and it worked. No, I had to immerse myself in it, man. I had to read. I had to study. I had to get after it, man. I had to get after it. And I did. That's why it's the Go-Getter family, y'all. Man, and then now I'm part of this 5-person mastermind group, man, with people that are highly respected, and they're going to respect me the same. And I'm just like y'all. I'm just a regular guy, man. I'm just a regular guy, just like you guys that are watching right now. But you too can put yourself in that position. You can position yourself. So, but are you going to bet on yourself? Or are you going to say, you know what, that's a lot of money, that's too much for me, and I'm not going to invest in myself? What you going to do? Are you all in? Are you all out? But I'll say this, if all it's going to do is put you in the same room with people that are worth 750 million, that are worth 20 million, if that's all it's going to do, what are you waiting for? If all it's going to do is change your entire life right now, change your entire life, man, give you freedom, what do you got to lose, right? Or, I mean, if all it's going to do is give you your time back, because he said this too, it's crazy. He was like, yeah, now, Gene, this is going to help you. This is going to give you your time back. This is what it is. Give you your time back. And now you can go do whatever you want with your time, build your business, all that. I said, you know what, man? Ever since I met you and got started with you, I haven't had any time, man. I've had zero time. I said, so now what? You know what? You owe me my time back. I just joke. We laughed. You know what I mean? But if all it's going to do is give you your time back, our most valuable asset, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, man? And that's the Go-Getter, man. The Go-Getter family. That's what we do. That's what we got. So, guys, I had to give you that story. I'm sorry I get long-winded sometimes, but I'm going to tell you another way to find buyers, okay? Then that Go-Getter are the buying free foreclosures. That's actually at the GoGetterFamily.com. That'll get you on your way right there. Another way to find buyers. When you get a house under contract, right? You give yourself this 30, 40, 45 days to close. That's what we teach. Unless you have to close quickly, these people must close quick. If they don't, always give yourself 30 or 45 days to close. This way you can market the property. So I already gave you some tips, but and guys, again, for the new viewers, I'm Gene Boykin, founder of the Go-Getter family. We're some go-getters, y'all. It's our family. And I'm here talking to you tonight, teaching you how to find buyers so that they'll pay for your property that you'll own. Right. This is where you find them. We get creative. Okay. So guys, don't forget to hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you feel like I'm giving you some value. So this is what I did on one of my properties. I'm giving you guys the game too, man. Woo, giving it to you. So I didn't have a buyer because it needed a lot of work, and I don't do repairs. I buy as is and I sell as is, because I don't do fix and flips. I'm not going to put my financial safety and well-being in the hands of a contractor and hope that because I've heard horror stories, and I even fixed a situation. I got paid $12,000 for it too, but I fixed a situation that was going to ruin some people because of a contractor. And I'm not saying all contractors are bad. I am not saying that, but I'm just going off my experience, right? So you guys got to be the judge of that. Anyway, because I just told you, find contractors to be your cash buyers. So anyway, this house, it needed a lot of work, right? But it was in a decent neighborhood, but it needed a lot of work, needed a lot of updating. You could live in it now, right? I bought it from a farmer. I took over the debt on it because he had bought it for his girlfriend, right? And then she calls him her sugar daddy, whatever. I mean, to each his own. And she wanted to move. And he had tried to sell the house and he couldn't sell it like on the market with a realtor just because it needed repairs. And I think he was asking too much. I don't know why he couldn't sell it. I didn't even delve into that, honestly, because he heard from my realtor, brought it to me, and he heard what I could do, fix his problem. So as long as we could negotiate the numbers, right? And I did that creatively. That's for a whole nother episode, guys. Man, we go hard. So anyway, I get it under contract and I agreed to pay him out, what was it, $12,000 of equity, because he put $30,000 down on the house and then he was paying extra on the mortgage payment because he's a farmer. Farmers have good money and they have great credit. He lives in Nebraska. I live in Iowa. I'm a black dude from Iowa. He's a farmer, man. Trump supporter, whatever. I don't want to get political, but they say this and that about Trump. Anyway, so I tell him 12 grand. I'll pay him out 12 grand, and then I'm going to take over the rest of the debt on the property, and we don't say it like that. We use particular language. We use magic words and magic phrases. But anyway, so I get it under contract, and I'm showing it to my buyers now. I'm showing it to people, and I did what I told you guys to do. I put it in the newspaper, man, and I said what I told you guys to say. For sale by owner, rent to own, no credit checks, down payment required. I put that in my local newspaper. Ran that. It was $38 for a week, right? It's $38 a week. And then if you buy 2 weeks, it's like, you save a couple dollars, whatever. So I'm getting people hitting me up. And at this point too, I'm still new in this, right? This is why I made the 7 steps, because I'm learning and I put my mistakes, learn from my mistakes and then my wins. So I'm going over there too. Every time somebody calls me, man, wants to come look at it, I'm going to meet them over there like a fool. Like, it's taking all of my time too. But people will walk in and they see the repairs and they're like, man, what? Because they're families. They want to buy on contract, but they're not contractors. So they don't want to come in and make a ton of repairs and a ton of updates. They still want it to look good. They think that they have in their mind that they'll have to make some repairs, but not pretty much, do new flooring, new kitchen appliances and new bathroom. They're like, hold on now, we might do 2 of the things. So anyway, I cannot sell it, man, and it's getting close. So I thought to myself, I was like, man, who would want to buy a house that needs to be fixed up? I've already tried some contractors that they didn't want it. Who would buy this house, man? And give me the cash for the down payment so I can pay the 12,000. And it popped on like a light. It popped on like a light, because this house was it's on the west side of my city, so it's not the best neighborhood. It's like a Section 8 neighborhood type of situation, So that was it right there. And I'll tell you what allowed me to get creative like this too. I learned this strategy. I learned its essence. I don't go out and buy 1,000 leads. I don't do any of the gimmicky stuff. None of it. So, there it is. There it was right there, man. I said, call the Section 8 office and ask them who their Section 8 landlords are. Because guys, Section 8 landlords, they are investors. They're investors. But there are Section 8 landlords, man, and the average investor, the average person who owns rental properties will own 3 rental properties. So it's a mom and pop shop. So they use that rent to pay the mortgage that they took out to buy the property, right? So the Section 8, you're guaranteed to get paid from the government. So I got that list because they're investors, and I called them. And then that was a buyer's list right there, instant. I called them and I'm telling them the same thing, that I can help them. I can get you an investment property. I just need a down payment, and then I'll finance the rest for you. They were chomping at the bit to get that house. So I got a buyer. Boom. Got $20,000 down payment. Rest is history. The rest is history. So guys, and you can call that, you can get that that Section 8 list. It is not a local office. Section 8 is the federal government. So you'll have to call your state office. So where it is in my city, it's the Department of Human Services, where you get your EBT, your housing, your Medicaid, all that stuff. That's where you'll get that Section 8 list. And that's an instant buyers list. Instant buyers list. Instant. Because these people are investors. They're the Section 8 landlords. And then you have to get creative once you get there. They're going to give you their names and stuff, or maybe just the addresses of the houses available. And then you'll have to, backtrack. You got to reverse engineer, right? You got the address. We're going to find out who owns it. Then we're going to do some research into them. Then we're going to skip trace them. We're going to contact them. You have to put some work in. It's not just going to land in your lap. All right, guys. So those are some tips on how you find buyers, your contractors. How you advertise it in your local newspaper. You can put that on Craigslist, right? Facebook, bandit signs. That's how you find some buyers. And then that Section 8 list. I'll give you 3. Now, I'm not going to give you all the sauce. Um, okay, so let's look, let's see if we got some questions. Can you do this at 17? Can I do this at 17? Christian TV. Christian, please put where you're from, man. When you guys have a question, put where you're from. So you have to be 18 to legally enter into contract. All right. Now we can do all of this in all 50 states, but you have to be 18 to legally enter into contract with somebody. Okay, Mesmer, Tube, I think that is how you say that. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, man. Hey, 2022 is going to be amazing. Candace. Candace is from my hometown. She's a go-getter. She's a member of the go-getter family, y'all. Candace, what's good? Candace, my homie, right? All right. Let's see. Do you have a mentorship program? Mesmer, yes, I do have a mentorship program. I have group coaching now. I just told you guys the story about how I'm being this mastermind group. So I don't even have one-on-one mentorship. Makee, I don't, man. And I have group coaching. I do. I do this, man. Send me in a private chat. You should be able to send me a private chat. Send me your email address, and I'll hit you on email, man, and I'll link you up with my right hand man, Coach Ivan, and we'll see what we can get done. So, and then where are you from, Mesmer? Where are you from, man? Hey, I want you to become part of the go-getter family. We're doing major things out here. We are. Is this pre-recorded? What do you mean? No, this is live, man. So, but it'll be back on there. He said nope. He answered his own question. You guys are funny. How do I get the mentorship program? Well, it's not free, y'all. I'll tell you like this. I'll tell you like this right now, man. I've got that $97 buying free foreclosures course. So, and that'll give you the game on how to buy these foreclosures, but it doesn't give you the 7 steps to becoming the bank. The 7 steps to becoming the bank, you become the bank. Guys, I went from being worth zero, my net worth, to now being at $780,000. I went from just being a guy from Iowa, which I still am, to being invited to be in a 5-person mastermind group with people that are worth millions and millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions. It's a fact, guys. You'll see it soon. It sounds like a whopper, but it's a fact. So, but with the 7 steps to becoming the bank, but I had to invest in myself. So Christian, yes, I do have a mentorship program. If you put in the private chat, put your email, or you can go to my Instagram and DM me, and I'll put a link to my IG in the description of this video. Go there, DM me, and we'll get you lined up. Hey, my homeboy's on Levi Epps. What's good, man? Hey, Levi's a member of the Go-Getter family. Levi's a founding member, man, and he's that dude. When it comes to credit, getting your credit right, business credit in 3 months, and then blind business trust, he gonna lace you up. And for the new people that are popping on, my name's Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the Go-Getter family, y'all. The Go-Getter family. Are you a go-getter? This channel, we give you the knowledge that you need to buy investment properties by becoming the bank, taking over the debt on those properties, not needing a lump sum of money out of your own pocket, or having to fill out credit applications from banks or hard money lenders. We go hard. Thanks for joining me. Zion Melson. And guys, if you have a question, please put where you're from, y'all. How do you document expenses for an investment property before having a line of business credit? Now I'm definitely not an accountant. Definitely not an accountant, right? But you can use QuickBooks. QuickBooks will line up as long as your bank, because my credit union I was using, it didn't go with QuickBooks Online. But if you use QuickBooks Online, you can sync it with your bank account and it'll automatically upload. Boom. And then there's your expenses and what you bring in, all of that. You have your profit and loss sheet. You will have your God, I forget what they call it, man. But QuickBooks Online, right there. Sync it up with your bank accounts. Shanice, I went to my city hall and asked for the red tag property list, and they acted clueless. Of course they did. These people work my nerves, man. Listen, guys, every city has houses that are condemned. I mean, a house might catch fire, right? Or the sewage breaks in it, the septic tank or something is backed up, the plumbing's backed up, and there's manure in there, whatever. They can't, it's not livable. Their electric, the electric ain't right, whatever. So that house has been condemned, so they can't live in it. Nobody can live in it. So where I'm from, they call that the red tagged houses. Red tagged. Every city has a department that condemns houses. It's the inspections department. Every city inspects a lot of things. So, but what happens is when you go to these government entities, they are, I mean, they are, there's, man, there are a lot of things, right? But they will try to obstruct you. They will try to obstruct you. They act clueless. So, you know what? We're always polite, right? And this is where the artistry comes in. And this is what the Go Getter family teaches you. And the 7 steps to becoming the bank teaches you, and our value based negotiating. Listen, when you go in there, you got to set yourself apart. So when you see the lady, man, these people are usually in there mad, bored, feeling overworked, underpaid, all of that stuff. You've got to set yourself apart. So you either compliment them, right, on something like, you know, their nails, their earrings, their hair, their eye color, their voice, their perfume, whatever it is, or or you do this. Now, this is counterintuitive too. I'm giving you guys some high level game right here, right now. Or you go in there and you say, you know, you probably think that I'm just like, you know, every other person that comes in here, you know, is asking you to do something that can't be done, you know, and then doesn't know what they're talking about. So I don't blame you because I'm sure you deal with that all day. They're going to be like, because it's going to catch them off guard. You're like, what? You know, they're going to want to help you now. Well, no, I don't think that, right? Because you're telling them what they think of you, right? And like you're kind of messed up, you know. You probably think I'm one of these messed up people. So they're like, no, I don't think you like that. You know, what do you need? And then they're ready to help you. But Shanice, what I want you to do is go down there and say what I said, but you have to say it with confidence, right? You can even go in there and say, hey, I don't know for sure what this is called in my city, but I know we have it. So can you tell me when a house is condemned, right? When nobody can live in it, when it's unlivable, if it caught fire, you know, if the electricity just is not up to code, right? Because they have a code, they have to. It's a city. Can you tell me where I would find a list of those houses? Where I can find that list? Because they have it, Shanice. They do. There's no question, no ifs, ands, or buts. But these people, they will be obstructionists. They will, because they've tried to do it to me. I just told a story tonight. I'll tell you guys just real quick. So the first time I went and filed what's called a memorandum of contract, that is deal insurance to make sure that when we get a deal under contract, somebody can't come offer more money and then our seller just stops answering our calls. So, but we have to record that document down at the county recorder's office. So I go down there and I go in to record it and I tell them, hey, I want to record this memorandum of contract. And the lady looks at me and she's like, well, what is this? Is this the contract to buy the house? I said, no, this isn't a contract to buy it. This is saying that I am buying it, that we do have a contract, but this isn't the contract. No. She's like, well, what is this? And I said, this is a memorandum of contract. You know, I'm telling her, because you're going to have to educate people on this stuff. A lot of people don't know what it is. So you're going to have to educate them. So I'm telling her, I'm like, this is a memorandum. So what it does is it makes sure that now that I have a purchase agreement signed with the person who's selling it, they can't turn around and sell it to somebody else. And if they do, they have to come through me. So that's what this document is, and it has to be recorded. And she's like, well, I don't know if you can, because it already has a contract buyer. And are you buying it on contract? I said, no, I know that they have a contract buyer, but I'm buying it for cash. So no, what? No. And then she's like, well, I'm going to have to talk to my supervisor. I'm like, great, please do. Because I got things to do, you know, and this is taking way longer than it's supposed to. So please, you know, now I'm still being polite. I'm talking to you guys a little bit differently than how that, you know, but I'm still being polite because we have to, these people, we're going to deal with them. So be polite, Shanice. Do not get on bad terms with these people. Please don't. So she goes and gets her supervisor. Now, if I was just a regular person, I would have already left. I wouldn't have waited for the supervisor, you know, and I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. You know, here's another one I can't do. I tried, you know, and I would have never made it to the level that I'm at. I would never own 6 houses. I would never be worth 780 grand, right? If I would have just gave up. So she goes and she gets her supervisor, and her supervisor comes in and they look at the document. And well, she brought the document back there with her too. So, you know, and then she comes, sets it on the counter, and they look at the document, and I'm right there. And I'm not budging because I know because my mentor has done this. And then there's like me showing you guys on YouTube that I do this, right? And you can look at my YouTube channel early now, and please forgive the quality of the videos and the sound if you look at these early videos, but it's on there. I did it. So her supervisor comes in, looks at the document, and is like, yeah, well, I'm pretty sure you can, and you can record that. And I'm like, yeah, you can. It's a memorandum of contract. You know, she's like, well, I'm not a lawyer. I said, yeah, I know. You work at the recorder's office. You record documents. Record the documents, man. What are you waiting on? So, but I tell her, you know what it is? It's kind of like an insurance. What it does is it clouds the title and lets everybody know that I am under contract to buy this house. So then if the person turns around and tries to sell it to somebody else, and when they go to the title company, the deed will be clouded. They'll call me. So that's what this document is. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll record it. I'm like, I know. Thank you. Thank you. And that was that. But I had confidence. I stayed respectful. And boom, so that's what it was. He's speaking fact. Raheem, the Go-Getter family. He's a Go-Getter family member. What's good, Raheem? You gonna get this game, boy. Flip with Yasin. Yasin, I see you change that name up. You flip with Yasin. Nah, I like it. That ain't a bad name. Yeah, that ain't bad. Flip with Yasin. You gonna flip that thing. Control the asset, right? Own nothing and control everything, guys. Own nothing, control everything. You can create debt on top with the bank debt. Yes, that's it. That's how we become the bank. When there's already debt on the property and we take it over, we take over that debt, right? But then when we take over that debt, we have to get our buyers and we have to make some money. So say we take over $50,000 in debt. Well, we're going to turn around and we're going to sell this property for $75,000. So now we've created $25,000 out of thin air, out of thin air in contracts. We just created $25,000 and our buyer owes that to us, but our buyer owes us the whole $75,000 and they're making payments on that. And then they make a down payment if that's what we required. Boom. And you make a monthly passive income and you're not responsible for maintenance or repairs. It's beautiful. For a down payment, why not become the bank and control the house? If the new buyer failed to pay you to do it, you get to do it again. Yeah, Yasin, I see you been checking out the buying free foreclosures course, man. Yes, self-investment is huge to growth. Yes, it is, man. So let's see what we got here. All right, guys, I'm about to have to get up out of here. Guys, put where you're from, all right? Because, I want to know who's watching, man, who's popping in, and I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to give you the game, man. I'm going to give it to you, man. And, we're a community, the Go-Getter family. So let's see. How much is too much unpaid balance? What's the threshold that makes a house a bad deal? Okay, so check this out. Because people ask me like, well, why would a person sell you this house? Well, what if they don't have any equity? They can't sell on the market with a realtor unless they pay them, right? Come out of their pocket. And who wants to come out of their pocket to sell a house? So our threshold is this, Alex Glaze. Our threshold is this, monthly passive income, right? So how much is their monthly payment versus how much can we charge a month for this house? That's what our threshold is, because I'll tell you this right now, guys, equity is a mirage. Equity is a trick. All right. So don't be tricked by equity, because you cannot eat equity. And equity is determined off of market value. So if you have $50,000 today and there's a market crash and that house becomes worth less, guess what? That $50,000 that you were talking about and that was part of your portfolio and part of your net worth, that just disappeared out of nowhere. But what won't disappear, Alex, is that monthly payment that you're getting. Right? So we want to get at least $300 a month cash flow. So we want to be able to get at least $300 more than the mortgage payment that we took over. I hope that answers your question. So that's your threshold right there, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's your threshold. I buy houses that are upside down, that they owe more than what the house is worth. All of that. I want, those are ones I want. People carrying two mortgage. Hey, why did one of your TikToks in Woodbury County, Iowa was just an empty lot? What? What? Was just an empty lot? What are you talking about? I've never put up a TikTok where there was an address on there or anything that was an empty lot. Never. You can check. Go back on there. It's on there. The videos are on there. You can check it, bro. I don't do that. Yeah, you can check it. I asked for a fire damage list, and I had a form that say by law they're required to hand me those lists, and they did. Absolutely. You had the Freedom of Information Act form right there. Y'all seen? Yep. They got to, man. They got to. So, good evening and happy new year to everyone. Barnetta Bronner. Hey, thanks for joining us. Barnetta, where you from? You're from Maryland. All right, guys. I got to get up out of here. I got to get up out of here, guys. I appreciate you watching me tonight. And if there's anything else, that we can do as a go-getter family member, hey, Raheem Turnage out of Detroit. Guys, if there's anything that we can do, any information, any questions that you guys have, leave them in the comment section and I'll answer those, just like this show was about tonight. All right. So I got to get up out of here. I get long-winded sometimes. Thanks for joining me. And again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Consider it if we brought you some value, but the go-getter family, y'all, they become a member. Are you a go-getter? That's the question. So I'm out of here. Till next time, let's get to it, y'all.